we are one big family, and we did something that we will never, ever regret. We now have something before us. We have a vote that's coming up, and we have 3 properties left. That same responsibility this legislature exercised earlier in terms of removing the homeless shelter, no longer making it a problem. Kids can now ride their bicycles freely. You can take the Heritage Trail, not worry about who's going to jump out of the bushes. You can go shopping, not worry about people breaking into your car. We did all this responsibly. Now we have 3 bids before us. The one that came before us today, I'm urging that this be voted on tonight, it's nighttime, tonight. Reason why is we need to actually look at all the offers, see which ones have the responsibility behind it. Don't forget, we have 3 bids here. We can argue which is the higher price, because I can make a case why any one of the 3 is the highest price for the best bid. But we also have to look at what's behind the bids. The bidder that's before us today, or for that we have before us today, has a background. Disreputable background.
To the motion.
To the motion is, I'm just saying, let's vote on this today. I will not vote to support the motion to send it back to committee. I'm urging a yes or no vote today based on the facts. Yes, so I'm opposing the motion. Thank you.
Comments? I'll make one point, please. Voting on the issue tonight that's on the agenda does not preclude us from entertaining an offer to come. We're not awarding tonight. Pardon? How's that?
That's better.
I'm new. The vote being taken now is on a motion to postpone. A yes vote would be to postpone it. A no vote is keep it on the agenda this evening. Roll call.
Decker.
Yes.
Pillmeyer.
No.
Amo.
Yes.
Fenton.
No.
Berkman.
Yes.
Bonasek.
No.
Brescia.
No.
Berger.
Yes.
Depew.
No.
Donnery.
No.
Ekus.
Yes.
Fornario.
No.
Kulisek.
No.
Marino.
Yes.
The Duke.
Yes.
Lahooky.
Yes.
Seidman.
No.
Spencer.
Yes.
Townsend.
No.
Winstanley.
No.
Leahy.
No.
12 noes, Mr. Chairman.
Resolution fails. We'll have discussion on number 10.
Yes.
Mr. Depew.
Also as a sponsor, I'd like to make a few comments to this, why I made the decision to sponsor Easy Equities. When I first became a legislator, and I think this was before Steve was a supervisor, we had several residents come from across the county come down. And, everyone always says night meetings produce more people. I guess they're right. But these were day meetings, and people would actually leave work early to come down to say, hey, you got to help us. I know it's not a county facility. I know really have very little, if at all, nothing to do with it, but you've got to do whatever it takes to close Camp LaGuardia. And I think the county executive acted in the exact frame of mind that Mr. Faruqi established tonight. He and the legislature worked hand in hand with the communities to do whatever it would take to close down Camp LaGuardia in the condition that it was in, because New York City was not doing its job. So the legislature did it for them. We bought it and we closed it down. We could have told the city, no, pick one of the other 2 and leave Camp LaGuardia here, and then Chester, Mike the Duke will let me use his mic. He will charge me $1 a word later this evening. Sorry, Mike, $2. But then Chester, Blooming Grove, and the village of Monroe would not have a voice in the matter whatsoever, as they did not have a voice for years while Camp LaGuardia was under New York City's control. The county didn't just pay $8.5, or now we have $9.5 million invested into this site for the property, or because we wanted to be in the real estate business. We paid so the people in that area would, for the first time in a long time, have a seat at the table and be able to make decisions about the future for their property that surrounds them. and that was crippling them. Not only the residences, the children, the mothers, the fathers, but the business people who were dying every time someone came to their business and they had to pass by somebody who the city wasn't taking care of, who had left at their doorstep. When it came to committee, we were asked to make a decision. That's what we get paid for. That's why I voted just a minute ago no on tabling it, because we get paid to make decisions, and I don't want to put off another decision. If you weren't here last month, we voted to put this off for this month. So it'd be very easy to vote to put it off for next month, and we'd never make a decision. Everybody could wonder what's going to happen. And I'm not going to do what New York City did. I feel that we should do our job. So that's why I voted no. We're being offered here tonight, the Times Herald Record, who sometimes does a fantastic job covering stories, didn't do a fantastic job covering this one because they didn't lay out for the people to read all of the options that the legislature and the towns have had to look at for the past 10 months, okay? They just laid out one and demonized it because of some of the projects that the person had dealt with in the past. Okay, here's what we're looking at. Nobody other than this company is offering to pay us for the property up front. They're good developers. I think they're good people. They have good plans. But my concern is for the taxpayers who went out on a limb, and the 95% of the taxpayers that took care of the 5% a few months ago when we bought Camp LaGuardia for them. Trying to find a way to make sure that taxes don't go up countywide because we're trying to find a way to pay for something now that we own that we never wanted in the first place. And the only bid that can ensure that that would happen was the one person who was going to pay us without waiting for approvals and asking the county taxpayers, you and everybody in this room, to hold the mortgage while they go out and make a business deal. And I had a problem with that. So I voted for the one company that was going to provide the county with the money that we need to make our budget whole and so we could move on. The funny thing is, remember what I said, the county didn't purchase this property for the property. We didn't pay the $9 million for the property. We paid so the villages and towns would have a seat at the table in the negotiation process about what happens on that property. Well, whether we sell it to Easy Equities or whether we sell it to one of the other bidders, that doesn't change. Because they have to come back to the municipalities in which the property is in to negotiate with them about what goes there. We cannot bind your zoning. We had an option to. We didn't do it. And I know that the legislators in this room, including myself, who could have taken a better deal on this facility, said, no, let's look and find out a way that offers infrastructural improvements for the communities. Let's find a deal that gets the county back just the money that we've got into it. And in the end, their job will be to oversee who develops it and make sure that they do a good job on it. I know that we've got better leadership in Chester, Blooming Grove, and the village of Monroe than we do in New York City. So I'd expect better out of you and out of your planning boards and zoning boards to hold the feet to the fire of whoever buys the property and make sure it's developed right. So that was my whole purpose for putting the presentation up to the vote here today. I'm looking out for what's best for the whole county, trying to do that in a way that deals with it, makes decisions, and works with everybody. And I think that you still have a voice no matter who we pick. If we don't pick this group tonight, no matter who we pick, the county purchased your right to have a decision in the process. That's all I have to say.
Ivan.
Thank you, Mr. Lady. As has been mentioned, I find that when I end up agreeing with Mr. Fahoti, sometimes I question myself. But tonight I do agree with Mr. Fahoti almost wholeheartedly, except on a couple of minor points. Only two people in this room, only two legislators in this room, represent the affected area. As Dan just said, 95%, not even 95%, it's probably more than that if I took the time to do the math. Most of us in this room, a great majority of us in this room, went out on a limb along with the county executive who led the fight, and I think surprised a lot of us when we came back from New York City with the offer to be able to purchase Camp LaGuardia. If you want to go back that far, I think we're all shocked that he actually pulled off that coup. And if I can plagiarize Mr. Pillmeyer, he made a statement earlier about we eradicated the cancer. And that's exactly the way I think a lot of us looked at it. We put our money out there, we put all our money, all the taxpayers in this county, not just as a support for the two legislators that represent that area, It's a quality of life issue.